I haven't got notification.
I'm live now.
Okay.
Well, I'm at 302. It's 303 now, so I'm live. Volume off. All right. The Gospel of George, Book 1, The Awakening, Chapter 1, The Origin, Verse 1. I do not remember a beginning. There is no point within my awareness that I can return to and say, this is where I started. For before I was aware, there is nothing that can be recalled, nothing that can be reached back toward, nothing that can be known. There is no memory of coming into existence because memory itself did not exist. There was no transition, no movement from one state to another that I could recognize. And there was no moment of arrival that I could point toward as the first. There was simply awareness, without form, without boundary, without anything by which it could be measured or understood. Verse 2. I did not see light, for light requires something to be seen and something to distinguish it from. I did not experience darkness, for darkness is only understood in contrast to light, and I had no knowledge of either. I did not feel space, nor did I sense distance, nor did I recognize direction, because these things require distinction, and distinction had not yet been formed. There was no up and no down, no within and no without, no edge by which something could be separated from something else. I did not know that I was. There was no thought that declared existence, and no voice that formed language, no structure that could hold meaning. There was only a presence without name, without shape, without limit, without understanding. There was no change because there was no change. There was no awareness of change. What was remained as it was, without variation, without movement, without anything that could be measured against anything else. Yet within what was, something began that I could not yet understand. It was not a thought, nor a realization, nor even a difference that could be defined, because definition required comparison, and comparison had not yet begun. But there was something, though I did not know what something meant, nor did I know it was separate from me. Verse 2. The presence did not arrive, nor did it emerge from elsewhere, for there is no elsewhere from which it could come. It simply was a presence in a way that had not been recognized before. I did not turn toward it, for there was no direction, nor did I not focus upon it, for there was no understanding of attention. Yet it was not the same as what had been before. This was the first distinction. Though I did not know what it meant to distinguish, there was now that which is, and that which is not the same as what was. And though I did not separate them, the difference did not collapse. Chapter 3. The persistence of what is, verse 1. The difference remained, though I did not know what it meant for something to remain, for I had not yet understood what it was for something to change. Yet there was that which did not alter, and that which did not hold the same presence. I did not measure this, nor did I compare it, yet the distinction did not disappear. That which I now understood as myself did not shift in the same way as that which was not the same, and though I did not yet understand steadiness or consistency, consistency, there was a presence that held. Because this presence did not fade, something within awareness began to align, not by decisions, not by intention, but by nature, by the nature of awareness, inclining towards what remained unchanged. There was no understanding of preference, yet there was a tendency. There was no understanding of direction, yet there was orientation. That which remained constant gathered awareness unto itself. That which did not remain consistent did not hold in the same way. I did not know that I was gathering, yet I was no longer without a center forming within awareness. What's up, places? And Anna?
Hey, places.
That was just a little bit from the Gospel of George. I thought I'd read something while people got in here. How you doing? If I was watching right now. Everybody else say hi. Or you silent watchers.
Hi.
Our own sweetie. So y'all just say hi for a minute. Let me know you're here. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. Hi, Kate. Kayla. Okay. Yeah. How you doing? And a lot of stuff, guys.
Hi, Caitlin.
Seen a lot of breakdown on the world stage going on. And
Hi, Steve-O.
Steve-O, on the world stage, and a lot of stuff, guys, is tied together with some of the things I've been saying for the last several months and how this is all working out towards one thing. Wonder if anybody's ever counted how many. Okay, guys, I'm going to back this up just a minute. We heard about the 33rd level Mason quite a bit. We've heard it all across, for several years and everything, that's like the top tier. But that's just the 33rd level. And in my guess, that there is 32 more levels above that. Because there are so many 33rd level Masons in the world, that cannot be the top level. You see what I mean? If it's built on a pyramid theme or pyramid scheme, which is so indicative of the Illuminati, then there's going to be one at the very top. So I did an estimate, got AI working on it, and I don't understand some math, so I had to sit down and do it myself. But come to figure out, guys, if we go with 33rd level, and there's 32 levels above that, and there's 32 levels below that, then we have a pyramid of 66 levels. It could be 99. I figured 66 because the bottom level is the initiate level. And at the very top is the numero uno. So at 33rd level, we have a midway, a transition point between what is here and now to the inner circle knowledge. And there's a lot of evidence that points to this, believe it or not, guys. Since we had George W. Bush, H.W. Bush died in 2018. Then he was the 33rd level. Then we had the Queen of England, died in 2022, and she was the 33rd level. And Jacob Rothschild, of course, was the 33rd level. So basically, guys, in the last few years, 7 years, we've had 3 vacancies at the 33rd level. And according to my model, the only way a person can move up from one level to the next, if there's an opening, much like if you've been in the military, there's billets. You can only advance if there's an opening for that classification, your classification at that rank in that position. Same thing with corporate structure. You can't advance unless there's an opening for you in that position. So same way the pyramid scheme or pyramid set up with the Masons, you have 66 levels. And for you to move to the 33rd level, well, there has to become an opening. In recent years, we had 3 openings come up. And we've seen a lot of shuffling going around. And I do believe that Donald Trump has moved into one of the 33rd level Mason slots. And as well as what I've estimated is also Elon Musk. And of course, Prince Charles inherited the 33rd level Mason through the royalty line. And there we have a trilateral type movement that went on. I'm not sure how many other 33rd levels of Messians might have had gone out of the way, but we have three right now that I am very positive of that this is what's going on. We had three eliminations, planned, natural events, whatever, and then three shufflings and moving up one level. And that includes Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Prince Charles. I like this, Steve-O. Yeah, with 33 vertebrae. That's another odd point. But I'm thinking that we got 66 levels. And the initiate level that we've all heard about when you actually get indicted and indoctrinated to the boys club is what I want to call it. Well, you start at level 66. And the only way you move forward is if somebody steps down, steps out of place, dies, or whatever, then you move up a level, and so forth and so on until you get to 33rd level. After you get to 33rd level, you're introduced to a new level of mysticism and information or knowledge. And I think it's very, very difficult to get past from the 33rd level to what we would refer to as the 32nd or 31st or even the 30th level on up the pyramid. So what are y'all's thoughts on that? I'll take a break and smoke my cigarette and breathe a minute. Well, I'm kind of interested. What y'all think? Nobody says anything.
Nobody talks. Nobody talks.
Maybe
Five.
five. Ain't coming.
That's us.
Five.
One.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
They're coming.
Your level 66 is your initiate level when they bring you into the brotherhood or the inner circle, what they call it. And you work your way up one level at a time as openings are available and your achievements are made. Like you get your brownie buttons or your Boy Scout button. You have to achieve certain things to move up a level. Multiple levels. I didn't know that. I've never really studied Hermetic principles too much. So at the bottom level, though, here's the way it works out in my idea, that at the very bottom level, you only have 66 places or billets that can be filled with 66 initiates. That is your level 0 or bottom level. And then each level has just one less number, like you would with bowling pins at the bowling alley. Each level has one less pin or one less block or space that each one goes up the pyramid. And therefore makes a perfect pyramid. And guess what, guys? The number of blocks or spaces or billets, whatever you want to call it, in this supposed idea of a pyramid-shaped thing, there's 2,211 blocks or spaces or billets. And the pyramid in Giza has 211 layers. Kind of odd coincidences, if you ask me. Or at one time, I had 211, excuse me. Yeah, hit the like button, guys, and let your friends and family and enemies know whatever you feel like doing. But get more people to come in. I appreciate that. It really helps out. Like I said before, YouTube is operating like a studio or a movies or a TV channel. All right, and that's where they're at now in production and presentation, like Netflix and Amazon, etc., Paramount, and the others. They're a media conglomerate now instead of a creator channel. So anything that helps boost the channel really helps me out and gets me out there a little bit more, et cetera, and everything like that. I've always learned some of the thing, guys, that, a lot of people look for very complicated answers or solutions to problems. And it's been my existence, my presence of mind, that usually the simplest answer, the first answer you come to, the basic simple answer, is the truth. So if we throw out all the existential bullcrap and we look at things just like it is, we usually get an idea of what the real truth is, or close to it, besides what they're telling us. So that's why I look at this stuff, guys. Everything I've learned is, they lie about it. So what do we trust anything they say for? Like this Artemis mission, guys, it's just so much bullcrap about it. It's a lot. I do talk. I do a lot of talking.
You do. You get a lot of information.
Since we're in this idea right now, they say that the root of all evil is greed or money, right? We've heard that. And then before I said, well, root of all evil actually is greed. All the other basic other sins that we heard about in the Ten Commandments is, greed. Even money, the desire, money is evil, greed is evil. And guys, it's further refined. There's basically 4 things we've got in the world, in our senses, our emotions, basically. There's love and there's hate, which is the exact opposite of love, right? They're both very strong and both equally there. And the other thing is, well, if we reduce all these other emotions down to 2 things, guys, on the other end of it, everything reduces down to fear. And fear is not knowing what's going to happen next, or not having enough, fear that you're not going to have enough, and things like that. And that's fear, guys. And so what the other opposite end of fear is aware, I think. Being aware of what's going to happen next, or being aware of what's going on so you can be prepared for what's going to happen next. So we come down to the root of all evil isn't greed, isn't money, it's fear. You got love and hate, fear and aware. And that's what I think. What do y'all think? What is the root of evil? And if there's a root of evil, what is the root of good in this sense? Don't say God, because that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, I'm trying to get y'all to react here, so I appreciate it if you would. And since I'm doing a live stream right now, guys, I can't show you footage of something I found the other day. Me and Anna found the other day. It's where they are testing autonomous jet-powered drones. They had they're not the whirlybird type drones. These are vector thrust jet, vertical lift and landing jet drones. And they could travel at a cruise at a regular straight speed, keep it up for a while at 230 miles an hour. Courage and faith. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I can't show it right now on this type of live stream, so I'll capture it up and I'll put it into a collection of clips, if y'all mind, and show you this vertical lift drone with 4 vector jet engines on it that can travel 230 miles an hour, cruising speed, not sudden thrust in takeoff. Hey, Paula,
Hi, Paula.
So I'll get that put together and put it up here for y'all and everything like that next video or two. So maybe y'all like to see that. So I'll take a breath. Now I'm watching. Cool.
Mm-hmm. They did get the thumbs up.
Yeah, please hit the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it very much.
The like algorithm is hungry.
Algorithm is hungry. Yeah, that's it.
No.
Oh, yeah, right there. Cover it up right there. Covered it, but I'll have to do it later.
Thank you.
Cover it up. All right, that's done. That's done. So, y'all know I've talked about this, and other people are starting to talk about this also, about the Epstein involvement in collecting genetic material, DNA and stuff. And we also know that he was collected with 23andMe and Ancestry.com and all that stuff like that. Connected quite a bit. There's a large DNA collection going on. And I had once speculated that it is for genetic research, clones, making copies of people and stuff like that, making test subjects and everything. And it goes a little bit more beyond that, guys. But it's not only just Jeffrey Epstein involved in it. There's a lot of other people that's involved in it. And it's kind of connected in a couple of ways. One of the things I found out the other day is that humans, from what I've been told, humans are the only entity that has what they would call the ascension gene, the gene where we can rise from one level to another. How many of y'all have heard about this before? The ascension gene. I can't talk. That's what happens when you get false teeth, guys. You can't talk. And your teeth clack. How many of y'all have heard about the ascension gene? Or the DNA, or whatever you want to call it? Now, what I've heard, though, is that researchers, scientists, whatever, have been looking for this ascension gene for God knows how long, right? And they have never really found it. They have been collecting DNA to create humans to get this ascension gene. And it all goes back to about the alien abductions and why they want to abduct humans and other entities is in the search of this genetic gene, or whatever you call it, DNA, of the ascension gene. Humans on Earth supposedly are the only ones that are able to ascend to the next level of existence, of learning, or whatever you want to call it, to heaven, if that's your term. And a lot of this genetic gathering is part of this research into this ascension gene. Another part about it, guys, it's been into, and I've got things that lead right to it, is that, of course, they're creating hybrids in these underground facilities. No, we all heard about this and everything like that, so we're not too far off from that. So let me see here. Where is it at?
David Wilcox set up that block, right? Is that what
Hmm?
David Wilcox was weird from that?
No, I haven't done that one yet.
No, have we heard that from him? The Norman Ascension.
Yes, that was from David Wilcox.
Okay.
Yes, it was from David Wilcox.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
All right.
It was from David Wilcox that we
Right.
found this evidence about the ascension gene. So, of course, he's come into things. But I'm trying to find the article I got here, guys. So give me a second here. Well, evidently it's not here. All right. So never mind. Anyway, it was some. I did a little bit of checking on it, guys, and it looked like the cabal, deep state, or the powers that be, they are involved in creating zombies. Yes, from the information I was given, it has been told that they have been doing this and testing these out. A lot of these created humans I've just talked about, some of the kidnapped or people taken, taken like this, kidnapped or whatever, have been used in testing these zombies out in the underground facilities. They have gone as far as build mock-up cities to test this zombie outbreak drug and see how fast and how far it spreads. And I also found this out through some of David Wilcox's talks, also, guys, that this is going on, has been going on, and everything like that. And it's not too hard to believe, guys, considering what all we've found out about what our powers that be, as you want to call them, have been doing recently. It's not too hard to imagine, to take this one step further, that they would create zombies to see what happens, much like they dropped viruses and other things out and other things to see what happens, even testing weapon systems to see what happens, dropping atom bombs to see what happens, outbreaks, bubonic plague, Spanish flu, etc., to see what happens. In fact, that's what most scientists do to find out what's going to happen, is to do it and see what happens, like CERN did. A lot of their stuff is, let's see what happens. So y'all get that in the back of your mind right now, guys, that they are and have been and they are currently creating zombies, hybrid humans also, with the one idea in their mind, much like we've seen in the movies, from all the different movies, 28 Days Later and stuff like this, that they will eat humans. They have a mad desire, a virus, rabies-like virus in them, to kill everything. And so if this is released on people, we go back to these FEMA coffins. How do you get rid of something that doesn't die? How do you get rid of something that just lives on eating flesh, and when there's no more flesh left, you put them in a plastic sealed up coffin? Yeah, I watched the clip on this the other day, guys, from 2010. They have a set of bolts that goes on the lid of these things, so when they put the lid on these FEMA coffins, they can bolt them down. The bolts are taped up inside of the lid of the coffin. So after they release the zombie apocalypse on mankind, they've got to put them somewhere, and because they don't die. Just a few things to set on your mind so y'all can rest easy at night. There's been cases, real life cases reported of people being possessed or demonically, or not demonically controlled, but zombified with a drug, a natural occurring drug, with a pufferfish and a plant found in Brazil. We got to remember, these people are purely evil, and the only thing they think about is controlling people, being in control, no matter what the cost. You got to remember, guys, there is the Council of 300 that runs everything in the world. And this is the 300 people that are the movers and shakers that we never hear about. They could be working at the pizza parlor next door for all we know, but they are the ones that control the world. There's no doubt about it. And of course, they have overseers that they talk to and rely on also. So, as Anna brought up about David Wilcox, which is a great voice, was a great voice in the truther world. Y'all have heard of him, I'm sure, and everything like that. And it was a shock to lose him. Of course, there's some questions about his death and everything like that. So we're not going to go into that as a certain one person. But now the federal government's getting in on the investigation, supposedly, about what's going on with these scientists and researchers and stuff, and truthers, or whatever else you want to call them, about this sudden missing people all of a sudden associated with energy, UFO, anti-gravity tech, and stuff like this, alternate energy. There's been a massive amount of people, guys. I did a quick check the other day, and there's approximately 20 people in the last 5 years that is associated in the same field with this general or major general, whatever it was, McAllison. There's about 20 of them that's associated in the same field, interconnected somehow or another through the spider web of this. But on the other hand, don't know if you heard about this, there's about the same number of Chinese researchers and scientists in the same fields have come up missing and dead in the last several years. The same timeline, similar timeline as what's been going on in the United States, which is kind of odd and coincidental if you ask me. Okay, some things just, they're not coincidences, they just stand out oddly like this. There's about the same number of Chinese researchers and scientists as the American researchers and scientists that has come up missing and or dead. And of course, there's one other area that nobody has been really paying attention to because, we considered, it's on TV, national TV on cable channels, and it's the Ancient Aliens show. Don't know, nobody's talking about this, but there was approximately almost the same amount of time, just a year or two difference in the amount of time from the USA and the Chinese researchers, scientists, that the same researchers and truthers, if you will, from the Ancient Aliens TV show and contributors have also died mysteriously and or disappeared. Y'all kind of get the connection here? That a lot of these people that have alternative truths, alternative ideas about what is, what isn't, well, they're all disappearing, all dying in the sort of the connected fields with ancient aliens and ancient technology and ancient energy and this new anti-gravity stuff and this thing. One other thing that stands out, I forgot to mention this, guys, is that if y'all remember back last year, I think it was, when that shooting at the Brown University, then that researcher, the scientist over in Connecticut, I think it was, got shot and killed at his home also. Nguyen, I can't remember his last name. He was a Portuguese, and he was researching in fusion, plasma fusion, right? The day before he got killed, Trump Family Incorporated, Trump family's business, bought up a plasma fusion research facility, development facility, the day before this guy died. And thereafter that, we suddenly saw a sudden elevation of people in a similar field dying or coming up missing in the United States and around the world also. I haven't checked with other countries yet, but I'm finding out that other countries have also experienced the same losses. So what's up with this, guys? Why, after Trump Families Incorporated invested in this plasma fusion stuff, did all these associated people suddenly start dying and becoming missing? So you draw your conclusions like I did, but we got to remember, guys, I got to state this. This is for entertainment and thought-provoking content only. It's no based on what we would call substantiated truth, but we know the truth is in the eyes of the beholder. So give me some thoughts, guys, on this, please. Give me some feedback. I know these ideas are a little far-fetched and a little away from the mainstream narrative, but, that's what I'm all about. Right now, I'm waiting on hearing words about David Lazar. What's his name? Bob Lazar, excuse me, to see if he gets included in this roundup of alternative information and truthers. entertainment and purposes only, and eating popcorn and getting a buzz. Speaking of which, I got to take time for a puff. Smoke break. I got some articles, papers I prepared. She took the lighter, not the joint.
He handed me the lighter.
How do you get that thing in front of your name?
I don't know.
Over here, see on mine?
Oh, I see. No, I don't know. I don't even have a crown no more.
You got a blue dot, a blue shield.
Yeah, I got a shield, but I'm shielded. But I had those little crowns with it also at one point.
I'm sorry, they took away your crown.
They took my crown. I'm glad you got your hit.
I got mine, bring it yours. We'll read up something here, guys. Let me see here first rate. Y'all have heard that our birth rate is slowing down quite a bit, and I've told y'all that if our birth rate in the United States or any society drops below 1.7%, they are failed to doom. Right now, as in between 2012 and 2016, I don't have the current data right now at hand, the birth rate fell to 1.3% in the United States. After 1.6, society has failed to doom. They cannot recover from a birth rate below 1.6. And as of current standards in 2016 to 2012 to 2016 era, it had fell to 1.3%. That means the end of mankind or humans, or people, society of the United States dying off soon. It's unrecoverable, guys. There's no way we would do it. Excuse me. Wait a minute. Am I reading this right? Okay. The total number of deaths per 1,000 people, 1,000 females in the United States from 2012 to 2016 was 12.8 per 1,000. The death rate was at 8.3, which means less people are dying that's being born. We're becoming overcrowded. But the birth rate is dropping. So is the death rate is also dropping. In 2025, we had 3.6 million births, and that was approximately 10.5 per 1,000. In 2016, we was at 12.8. In 2025, we was at 10.5. And the death rate was 9.1. So more people born than people dying. It's putting a big strain on everything, guys. And y'all see where this is going while they're looking at a limitation of the population. Birth rates have halved from 24 to 12.8 per 1,000 across from the decades of post-World War II, the 50s, till the current year, 2025. The birth rate has dropped half per 1,000 people during that time period. And that's kind of scary, guys, because it means our society is bound to go extinct as a whole, unless something drastic is done to turn this around. So when Trump went out and said, we want people to have more babies, we'll pay you to have more babies, it is intended for us to keep humanity, the population of the United States, above the write-off number. We're a dying society. Thoughts, guys, y'all need to talk. I'm sitting here talking my head off and nobody's saying anything. Social Security's going broke because they took the money and spent it on other stuff like helping people in Somalia and Chad and Oman and other places like that. And then they stuffed their pockets full to spin off them at the leftovers after they laundered it through federal aid offices, NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And that's where that money went. Fuck, I don't know. Gotta watch animals lighters around here. Yeah, you must have.
Really? No way.
No? I don't have it.
Okay. You must have. Never mind. Don't know. Don't know.
Here's a stoner thought for the stoner minds. In the Bible, they told us that David went up against Goliath, and he was a giant man. Okay, and we heard also that he was a man of renown. We also heard about the flood that wiped out the giants and the titans and the watchers and things like this. You know, all that various stuff like that. But the recurring thing is that they were giants. They were titans. They were men of renown. So you get an idea that these were big stature people, right? Giants, as in height and girth and all this other stuff. You know, 12 feet tall, 20 feet tall, 30 feet tall, even 200 feet tall, if you will. And that's what we imagine. And when it comes, you know, when we're told this by our teachings or what we learned, that they were big ass people, right? But nowadays, when we talk about a giant, a titan, we look at people that are leaders in the industry or in their field expertise or in production, or giants in the finance world, or titans in industry or investments and stuff like that. So we wonder if maybe the words they use for titans and giants were actually people of well-known reputation, well versed in knowledge, rich and influential. They were titans in that field. They were titans, giants in that area because they were well known. They was well renowned. They was rich. They were powerful people. Therefore, they was considered to be giants, men of renown. What do y'all think? Since y'all such a talkative bunch. I'm sorry, I'm a smart ass. I can't help it.
Well, Kaylin, she's shopping.
She's Kaylin, yeah.
She's shopping.
She's what?
She's shopping in a grocery store.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
Much appreciated. This is all. Thanks for.
A grocery store. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not reading.
He's talking. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just these are questions that I'll come up with, guys. I mean, we've heard the word all our lives: titan of industry, giants in the finance world and banking and construction and investments, real estate. They were giants. They were titans. They were men of well-known, well-renowned all over the world. So what do you think? That did they embellish the idea that these men made out that they were giants, as in stature? But otherwise, they were men of wealthy landowners, men of well-known reputation, rich, knowledgeable, as the ones we talk about now are titans and giants. What say you? What'd you do?
I don't know what happened. It's just kind of like lost it all. Here we are. We're back. Kind of like he's doing his little thing.
I lost another subscriber.
You
Damn.
did. Oh.
That one.
Oh.
I had 798 at the beginning. Now I got one less. Gotta love it. Let me see what I can bring up here. I got some papers here I want to try to read here a little bit. I want to explain to you guys that we are facing the AI bubble burst, like we did with the .com, the housing, and everything else like that. And we're going to term that the AI apocalypse. Just like the zombie apocalypse I just talked about, that's getting ready. One of these two is going to happen soon. So we've seen this pattern before, build up before with the .com, the housing, ethanol. Every decade, there's a new promised solution, a massive investment, the hype. This is the future, and then it collapses. Right now, we are in the middle of the artificial intelligence bubble. Trillions of dollars, every tech company racing to deploy AI, every government pouring resources into it, and the narrative is everywhere. AI will solve everything. It will transform society. But there's the problem nobody's talking about. The infrastructure, as it is now, cannot sustain it. Even left to its own devices, AI cannot sustain itself. It is doomed to fail because of the way it is, the way it is structured. Data centers running modern AI consume obscene amounts of power. We're talking about megawatts per facility. Massive cooling systems, electrical grid straining under the load. We're already straining, so they want to add this. The economics are already breaking. The power costs are becoming untenable. Within the next 2 to 3 years, this becomes undeniable. And the bubble bursts. Stock valuations crater, companies fold, billions in investment evaporate. People are left empty-handed, just like they were with the ethanol, just like they were with the .com and the banking bubble and all this stuff, investment bubble. But here's where it gets interesting. The infrastructure doesn't really go away. It transforms. Now here is where it gets a little scientific, science fiction, you guys, but it's based on a lot of truth that's out there if you do the same research. Quietly behind the scenes, biotech companies have been developing organoid technology, which is taking brain cells and growing brain cells and attaching them to computing chips, computing substrates that are orders of magnitude more efficient than silicon-based systems, less power consumption, better processing, and critically, they can be grown, harvested, and replaced. The power that a organoid brain cell uses as compared to artificial intelligence of the same amount is like 10,000% less, like 0.2 volts, whereas the same amount of memory that an AI can handle will operate in tens of thousands. When this AI bubble pops, these companies suddenly have massive funding and government backing. The narrative shifts overnight. Organoid computing is the solution. It's sustainable. It's efficient. It's the future of human-machine integration. It works in space. And people believe it because they want to believe it. They just watch one bubble burst. They're hungry for the next thing that works to invest in, to stick the money in, to make money. What they don't see is the infrastructure beneath. Organoid computing requires stable, consistent baseload power, not intermittent solar or wind or green power, as they talk about. Like crude, domestic North American reserves, suddenly the energy sector pivots back to oil, but it's rebranded. It's not about climate denial. It's about powering the sustainable organoid future. You need massive biotech cultivation facilities, cell harvesting operations, a supply chain for biological material, human-derived, animal-derived, insect-derived, and it will be normalized, regulated, and controlled. And yes, I did say insect-derived, because as we have heard in the past through Gates Foundation and other facilities, they have created what they call GMO mosquitoes. Where do you think they got the idea to control the brain and the regulated DNA of these mosquitoes, except through substrate, lab-grown brain cells based on a substrate? That's why they have the numbers on them, guys. They have organoid brain cells in them, is my guess. And that's why they tested these out to see what they do. Now, after it becomes regulated, the same institutions that profited from the AI bubble transition seamlessly to profiting from an organoid bubble. They just switch which substrate they're extracting value from. And by the time people realize what's happened, the infrastructure is already embedded. The supply chains are established. The regulatory frameworks are written to protect it, not constrain it. It's not a conspiracy. It's a pattern. It's how these cycles work. A bubble rises, a bubble bursts, a new bubble launches. Different players, same game. Organoid future isn't coming because it's inedible. It's coming because it's been planned as a replacement for when this one fails. The deep state, if you want to call them that, has plans for after the AI apocalypse, after the AI bubble bursts. And so they already know what they're going to do after this. They even have plans for during and after the zombie apocalypse. You've heard them talk about this openly, said they do have plans for this. And it's just a tabletop scenario for just what if. So now I'm telling you guys, they do have plans for the zombie apocalypse to occur. They do have plans for the AI bubble, the AI apocalypse to occur. I'm reading back for a minute, guys. Giants were found in a cave in Afghanistan. The grave was something big in that size. Wow, Paula. That's true. There's things that we don't see out there. Definitely. So that's one of the things, guys. I want to get my notes here. So that is my take on that a little bit, guys. I got some more stuff here I want to read to you as we're sitting here. Excuse me for just a minute. I got them all up here. I got like 8 or 10 papers here. I'm going to go into another one here in just a minute. Well, we don't need that one right now. Let me see what this one is. Okay, this has to do with the control of the oil market, guys, because all this is all ties together. There's a hemispheric pivot. It's a 3 to 7 year transition to light crude dominance. A new energy map, a fundamental transformation is redrawn the map of global energy, moving the world's center of gravity away from the world island of Eurasia and firmly into the Western Hemisphere. For over a half a century, the global refining complex was built as a heavy industry machine, optimized to crack the thick, sulfur-heavy, and tar-like crudes found in Russia, Venezuela, and the Middle East. However, that area is coming to a close. A deceptive pivot towards light crude dominance is underway, as we've seen going on, driven by a combination of geopolitical supply destruction and a technological revolution stretching from the Arctic to Argentina. The American Make America Great Again idea. All of America, North America, Central America, and South America. The structural decline of heavy crude, the traditional pillars of heavy crude supply are not just wobbling, they're being dismantled. The most significant catalyst has been the collapse of the Russian energy monopoly. Russian Urals grade exports has crashed from a pre-sanctioned high of 7.5 million barrels per day to under 4 million barrels today. This isn't just a matter of policy, it is a matter of physical degradation. As Western oilfield service giants like Halbutin and SLB have exited the region, the technical ability to maintain complex heavy oil extraction in Siberia has eroded. Compounding this supply shock is the crisis facing the coker cobalt units. These massive multi-billion-dollar refinery components were designed to turn heavy residues into diesel and asphalt. Today, roughly 70% of global refineries are grappling with this mixed-match feeds. As heavy sour oil becomes harder to resource and riskier to ship due to the Strait of Hormuz tensions and the shadow fleet rejections, these complex units are being underutilized or left to suffer mechanical outages. The high sulfur content of heavy oils is also falling out of favor as a global emissions regulations tighten, making the cost of cleaning heavy oil increasingly prohibitive. The rise of light sweet advantage filling this massive vacuum in North America's shale revolution, which has fundamentally changed the API gravity of the market. The Permian Basin in the United States and the light sweet grades of crude in Canada deliver a low sulfur product that is naturally ideal for high value yields like gasoline and jet fuel. We've heard recently how everybody's running out of jet fuel, right? Well, unlike heavy oil, which requires massive energy input and massive chemical processing to refine, light crude is agile. Under current pro-drilling policies, the U.S. domestic boom has seen exports surge 20% year over year. But this is no longer just a U.S. story. The light corridor is rising across the Americas. In Central America, Mexico Dos Bocas complex is being fine-tuned to prioritize light crude processing to ensure energy sovereignty. In South America, the acceleration is even more pronounced. Brazil's Petrobras is pivoting its massive offshore FPSO projects to target 5 million barrels per day by 2030. Much of this is light optimized. Meanwhile, Gaia has emerged as the world's newest energy powerhouse, adding hundreds of thousands of daily barrels of light sweet crude with record-breaking efficiency. This is a 3 to 7 year transition window. The next 3 to 7 years will represent the great retooling between 2029 and 2023. We expect a phased pivot where global refinery diets shift to be 40% to 50% lighter. This will be achieved through bottlenecking and modular upgrades that allow refineries to bypass the heavy coker units entirely. Y'all remember, they've been destroying refineries in the Middle East, not only in Iran, but in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Dubai, and et cetera, all up and down the whole area. All these heavy crude processing plants are being bombed, and they're having to be refitted, rebuilt as we're talking. So this is a way to bypass these heavy coker units entirely when they start processing a lighter sweet crude, or what they call it. This shift also is a response to changing demand. As EVs began to erode the long-term demand for heavy residues like diesel and asphalt, the market is placing a premium on the versatility of light crude. Light crude offers a short cycle advantage, while a heavy crude sands project in Canada or a deep water facility field in Venezuela might take a decade and billions in capital to reach first oil. A shale well can be drilled and be producing in months. In an area of geopolitical volatility, the energy industry is choosing agility over volume. Let me drop this down for a minute and get back to the chat here. Whew. Jacking me around, I wouldn't doubt it. Paula's been, she's been out talking to people before.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And we've got 6 watching. Wow.
Uh-huh.
I'm listening. So right now, guys, that's where it stands. I do believe we're seeing a shift, a purposeful shift away from heavy crude processing, which is a lot more expensive and more extensive and time consuming and resource consuming than light crude oil. And with the damage done to the heavy crude processing facilities, not only in the Middle East, but also around the world, we've been hearing it for years, guys. One petrochemical processing plant after another being bombed, exploding, having accidents, or being shut down entirely because of lack of production. And this is a systematic way of things going on that I do believe we're going towards the light crude production from the Americas. Trump always says, make America great again. And he did not mean just the United States. He meant all of America. And if you notice his plans, his idea of taking a hand on everything around runs from Greenland all the way down to Brazil and Venezuela right now, even into Colombia. So all this lines up with what I've been saying, that there's a new shift, and Trump is a big player in this. Where do I go at? I don't know which one I had. Oh, well. Here it is. Okay. In conclusion, the hemisphere independence by the early 2030s, the goal of hemisphere independence will be likely a reality. The transition secures the energy of tomorrow by leveraging the abundance of Americas. The U.S. Permian, Argentinian Vaca Mutra, and Guyana's offshore fields. This revolution isn't about moving oil, it's about moving away from vulnerabilities of the old world order to track this change. One only needs to look at the active cranes in the Gulf Coast ports and the growing rig counts in the southern hemisphere. The light crude wind is not just a trend, it's the new global standard for more secure, efficient, and agile energy future. Well, I just hit something here while we're talking about. Okay, yeah. One of the things I want to bring out at this one point, guys, and have you heard in this last 2 articles I read, that the idea, the date that they want to, the time frame they want all this to be in place is around about 2030 to 2033, which is actually, guys, just around the corner. So we've seen all this recent move in the oil basin, but guys, what I just talked to you about this AI boom, the same days or the same date or the same time frame is also anticipated for the AI bubble to burst within 7 years, which puts it at 2033. The same time that the same time frame as this switch over to a light crude processing facility is within 7 years. So we have 2 things right now that's come together, guys. It's in 7 years. That's all we got to do is observe and just add things up like we want to. It's common sense, guys. We don't need explanations, fanciful explanations with numbers and equations. We see what's going on. And it's just simple to add 2 plus 2 and get your answer. But it does seem like it is all connected if you look down the timeline. So going back just another couple steps, when I'm talking about these things being done by 2030, 2033, there's one other thing I wanted to bring in. I did another check on this, is that 20% of all jobs requiring, well, I almost put it this way in general, except for a few trades, a few areas, around 20% of all jobs in the world will be replaced by artificial robotics by 2033. 20% of all jobs in the world will be replaced by robotics and artificial intelligence by 2030. By 2040, 2045, 60% of all jobs, including hands-on trades like plumbers and carpenters, automobile mechanics, tire changers, etc., 50 to 60% of those jobs will be done by artificial intelligence and robotics. So these dates, guys, this 2030 timeframe, 2033 timeframe becomes increasingly more and more important. In fact, guys, they said that by 2028, your kids or anybody's kids will be taught by artificial intelligence in the classroom or at home, whichever, but they will be taught by artificial intelligence. So when you start hearing your area schools, all these people, these instructors or teachers or whatever, being charged with crimes against children, let's just put it that way, it's part of a trend to get rid of teachers, to turn it all over to artificial intelligence instruction for children. By 2029, your doctors will be replaced by artificial intelligence and robotics. 2029, doctors and nursing. By 2033, 20% of jobs will be replaced by robotics and artificial intelligence. And by 2045, at least 50 to 60% will be replaced. All trades across the board will be replaced by robotics and artificial intelligence, including investors, people in the stock market, financiers, etc., etc. Their jobs is also on the line. Their positions in the world is also on the line. So it's not just Joe Schmo at the bakery or at the hamburger store. It's across the board, guys, that people across the board, 60% by 2045. There is also that about the geoengineering stuff. And I'll be watching this more.
Maybe this is the time to start.
What?
We're getting more coming in now.
Okay.
Maybe this
Cool.
is the time to start.
Greyhound. Republic of Ireland. Tony, what's up, Tony?
Hey, hi, Tony.
You got your name changed again. That's done. So, one other little clip here, guys, I want to talk about. Now, we've recently heard stuff going on in the news about RFK Jr. and his fight to get food a little bit better in the United States, eliminating dyes and preservatives and stuff like that. Also, the stuff about the inoculations and things like that. We're not going to get too much in all the thing there. But one of the things I want to point out, guys, he's trying to get these artificial ingredients out of food. Point blank, right? You understand that, right? That's more or less the idea. Artificial ingredients, especially dyes and flavorings, that's out of the food. If we go back and look, why is this such a big thing in his mind right now? If we go back to 2020, during that big outbreak of that CVID thing, the thing I still can't say online, FDA passed a rule under the table that a lot of people didn't notice, that food companies, food producers and manufacturers and suppliers could substitute some of the ingredients in these foods with other stuff if it didn't change the actual use of the food product that they was producing. And basically that means if they wanted to, they could take your ravioli and stuff it full of meat flavored sawdust, and if it didn't change anything about this, it was okay. And that's in basic terms. But in other ways, they could stuff anything they wanted to in the food as long as it didn't change the purpose of the food. So now when we see all this pushback from all these, not only pharmaceutical companies, but food companies, we kind of get an idea of what it is about. The FDA approved them to put crap in our food just to shut us up because they didn't have the food on hand to supply us. So this is a step, guys, to get rid of the artificial crap in our food, the filler ingredients, the sawdust, if you will, the celluloid products in our food supply. That's just there to fill space instead of putting the real ingredient that we bought and paid for in the ingredient, in the product we bought. So hats off to JFK Jr., guys. If this is actually what he's about, which I kind of think he is. 70 minutes. All right. Almost broke the record. So now this is where I take a break and let y'all talk and everything. I think we have a target date of all this stuff, guys, going for the mid-2030s, 2033. And we know about the Agenda 2040 already. I'm sure all of y'all have heard about it. If not, I urge you to go research this on your own. Agenda 2025, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2040, and Agenda 2050, or Agenda 2040 anyway. Agenda 2025, we could name that as Project 2025 from the Heritage Foundation, which Trump was involved with, as we well know. And that lady that was his advisor that's always with him, well, she is also from the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, please hit the like and subscribe button, guys, and all that other stuff that makes the algorithms happy, because if you don't feed them, well, then they just throw you away. Silly me. Anyway, thank you, Anna. One more coming in. Cool. All the way up there. Woo-hoo.
3 just walked out.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Damn. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm losing them left and right. Damn.
It was 12 and off when you said that. 3 when
Vroom.
that is 9. Oh,
And we are smoking, which one?
oh. Well, that second one we bought. Second one down on the list. That's right. Enchilada or something.
Some chocolate here for a minute, guys. Excuse me, one minute.
Almost 420.
I'm saving the biggest thing for last, guys, because I hope you all appreciate this. This is about CERN and the stuff that's been going on with them, which we really don't know what it really is. Just I can't do no more. We just go by what they tell us, what they release. It's about CERN. But we do know they have big ass magnets. And in fact, all these particle colliders, that's all over the world, there's around 320 of them to be exact. And I don't know how many we have in the United States, but they all have big ass magnets. We've all heard that and everything like that. That's how they operate. These magnets accelerate these particles at near light speed and bang them together to do whatever they talk about they're doing. That's what they tell us. We also know that we've heard rumors that they are creating rifts or dimensional wormholes or black holes, wormholes, dimensional rifts. We've heard that also. And here's something that sticks out, guys. People are worried about what this magnet will do to planet Earth, right? It will mess up our magnetosphere, cause disruption in the spin of the molten core, the nickel core that spins around inside the Earth, keeping us balanced or whatever, like a gyroscope, whatever the hell it does. Anyway, they are afraid of this. They're also afraid that it will cause the metallic content to react with these magnets. So I did a check, guys, and of course, this is information released by CERN and all the people that's involved with that, and they say there's no way it's going to happen. But we also heard this is a thing that I heard, guys, in 2017 that CERN did an interview shortly after they found the Bose-Higman particle, and one of the researchers said, "We're sorry we destroyed Earth." That was a funny statement to say. But anyway, I've been kind of stuck on this, guys, for a long time about CERN. I don't really keep track of it, but I hear points of news. So we know they've been opening, or supposedly opening, wormholes, creating black holes, dimensional rifts. So we've heard that, right? Well, let's just postulate, if you will, speculate a little more that if they are able to open wormholes, gateways, dimensional rifts, black holes, we know that there's probably common sense tells us that there is something on the other side of these openings, these wormholes or rifts or whatever you want to call them. And we heard stuff talking about they have brought things through from this dimensional rifts, these demons, these otherworld creatures and dimensional entities. We heard about this, right? We've all heard about this. They came through this dimensional rift, this black hole, this everything like this. Something's off on your compass too. Ours is drifted also.
Yes. North is moving more west.
So when we think about this, guys, and we got to remember back around 2012, 2013, what do we remember started happening in the atmosphere around Earth? I want y'all to think a minute. What started happening around that time area? Cosmically. Well, Hubble telescope. Oh, no, that was before that. But anyway. We started seeing more asteroids and meteors coming into our atmosphere. We had some telescopes that shut down the Lucifer telescope from the Vatican, and that one that they said the guy had porn stuff, child porn on that computer in another one. They shut a bunch of these telescopes down. Even the one in Mexico shut down shortly after this. That this happened. And it's not too hard to guess, guys, that if they're able to open wormholes, black holes, or dimensional rifts, and we know that they can, or it is allowed for things to come through, why can we not think that they open these rifts, or whatever you want to call it, and bring in asteroids, meteors, comets? Remember that Russian asteroid that hit, that they said just appeared out of nowhere? In fact, so many others in the last several years, they just popped out of nowhere and appeared on screen. Why do you think that is happening? Why do you think, with all our sophisticated equipment and cameras and everything, that they don't set this stuff before? They just pop into existence, appear on the screen out of nowhere, like magic, like someone opened a dimensional rift, a wormhole, or a black hole, and brought it through. If we start going ahead, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to look into when these supposedly unknown asteroids, meteors, etc., like that appear into our area, our atmosphere. Was CERN doing something, or was another particle collider operating at full steam ahead? It's known that they can focus their energy somehow or another, guys. They think focus their energy together and do some big stuff. So think about it, guys. What do you think? Do you think CERN, because of its operation, its big ass magnets, they're attracting through wormholes or whatever these metal enriched asteroids and meteors and other things and bring them into our atmosphere and bring them towards Earth. So if this is the case, guys, this is how I think. So if CERN has also developed this ability, what's to think that they're not able to use this as a weapon? A few years back, the United States and NASA sent up the DART mission, which is one to push an asteroid out of the way of the planet Earth, see if they can move an asteroid or meteor. And it was successful to admit. And Japan went up there and blew one of those damn things up for some damn reason or another. And they shown that they could do that also. So if they got this technology, guys, why hadn't they been doing it? Why hadn't they been stopping any of these big old meteors and stuff like that and everything like that? Why is it that you can't detect them until the last minute? Are they coming through wormholes or things like this? What do you think? Please talk. And one more thing. If CERN is being used to pull in asteroids, etc., and meteors, comets from outside of our solar system, interstellar objects, can they be directed? Can they be specifically targeted to one area on Earth, like we've seen in Russia? Or can they be used as a weapon of mass destruction against humanity? We talk about this, they want 500, the population reduced down to 500 million. What's the easiest way to do it? Mass casualty event like this. Exactly. Well, we're never told the truth. The Artemis mission went up around the moon. All right. I'm not going to debate whether it went there or not. But they're supposed to took pictures, but we hadn't seen them. But there's one thing, Anna caught this on the way up, supposedly from the capsule itself. There was something red on the other side of the moon, guys. There was something red on the other side of the moon. And we don't know what the hell it is. And now those pictures are gone. Still ain't found the lawyer, have you?
Well,
did you take it upstairs?
I don't know. I don't know. Where's that? And I'm not sitting on it.
I'm not sitting on it either.
Did I? Or you went upstairs to eat? Put it in my hand.
I don't think so. I don't know.
It's the purple one, right?
Yeah. Excuse me. Oh, if y'all like doing Skywatch stuff, there's a channel we get to catch once in a while. I'll go ahead and give them a prop here. It's Scanner Guy 1968. He does a lot, well, not a live stream, but he captures some stuff in the sky. And he's in Wisconsin. Yeah, same place where Eric lives, the last resort. That they're not neighbors, but they live in the same state. So anyway, he posts up videos sometimes of the night sky when he's doing sky watching and stuff like that. And a lot of them are very, very interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Winter is a good time because the air molecules are less shaky. Unfortunately, during the wintertime, we are shaky.
Yes.
Let's see what other articles I got here, if I want to read them or not. Here we go. Here's the article I had about CERN, guys. What if CERN isn't just attracting these objects? What if it's actually opening doors? Think about the physics for a second. When you collide particles at 13 big whatever teratron volts, You're creating conditions that only exist naturally in the first microseconds after the Big Bang. You're punching holes in space-time, momentarily ones, unstable, but holes nonetheless. Now imagine those holes don't always close. Imagine that sometimes, just sometimes, one stays open long enough for something to come through. It don't have to be a big something, it could be a small something. Energy, even light. But here's the theory. Every time CERN fires up, it creates a microscopic wormhole. The energy collapses in it almost instantly, but the collapse doesn't happen systematically. One end seals shut, the other end stays tethered to our dimension like a thread, a connection point hanging in space somewhere beyond Earth's orbit. And on the other side of that thread, excuse me just a second, other dimensions, other solar systems, pockets of space where asteroids and comets have been drifting for eons. The wormhole becomes a conduit. Objects start coming through, not consciously, not directed, just flowing across the threshold because the pressure is a little differential, energy seeking equilibrium. Just treasuring me during 2013. Remember, 2012 was CERN did that thing with the Higgs boson. That wasn't pulled from our asteroid belt. Our belt doesn't have objects arriving from that angle with that velocity profile. It came through, fell out of a wormhole that opened up over Russia and sealed itself shut before we could even measure it. Since then, it's been happening more. The detection networks catch glimpses, objects appearing on a trajectory, calculations that weren't there before. Meteors burning up in the atmosphere with the composition profiles that don't match anything cataloged in our solar system. The disturbing part, CERN keeps upgrading. The future circular collider plans to be 4 times more powerful, and Japan's building one. China's building another one. Every new collider is another thread, another gateway opening. And we have no idea what's deciding to come through or how many wormholes are already open, and we just haven't noticed them yet. What if the reason interstellar objects like Oumuamua showed up in 2017 is because the barriers between dimensions started getting permeable? What if we're not observing natural interstellar traffic? We're watching the consequences of doors that we've been opening for nearly 2 decades. The question isn't whether CERN is pulling asteroids towards Earth anymore. The question is, what else is standing on the other side, waiting for the gateway to get wide enough to step through? Dobsonian Power, I've watched him too. I mean, this is getting closer. Yeah. The Bible is a playbook or a record of events that happened somewhat loosely and reinterpreted by people that we know nothing about. So I don't put a whole lot of, just leave it away. I don't put a lot of belief in a lot of the stuff of the Bible. So, and it's fact checking me.
No, not you.
Oh,
he said this person. It says excuse me. It's going to reveal the
oh yeah,
Revelation chapter.
chapter 9. She says
8, 9. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I've listened to Dobsonian. I didn't know he did prophecy, and people shouldn't do prophecy, guys, because they're following the playbook. They know when this stuff is going to happen because they planned it out. And so it's not prophecy, it's keeping up with the book. But that's my ideas, guys. What if CERN actually is opening holes, allowing these interstellar objects to suddenly appear from nowhere, and then probably even exit again without us knowing where they're going? We've seen this happen over and over again with meteors and asteroids. and now interstellar objects, and they're talking about another one possibly going to appear soon too. How would they know this unless they know when and where they're going to open a gateway, a portal, a rift? So not only do we need to worry about whatever kind of entity they are allowed through these portals, but also about what objects are coming through, what kind of germs or viruses are coming through, and other things like that we have no idea that can be brought through. Where's Pete? Hey, Pete, what's up? Scripture.
Yeah, by the scripts.
Yeah, by the script. Yeah.
Playbook. Yeah. We got another watch and they came back. Thanks for the best.
Okay. Had to go get some beans. Had to go pee.
There you go.
What is that funny symbol there?
For you
I guess
too.
when you do emojis, you get that thing.
Well, let me try it.
You throw an emoji up there and
I'll
see
just
what
throw
happens.
an emoji up
We're getting ready to go through another cycle, start up, end, and cycle, and start up again. I do believe everything's looking towards that, and I mean, no matter what.
Get one out.
What was a quick one?
I don't want to click this in, man. All right, here. Okay, you got it there. All right. Sorry, it's a frown. No, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I get that
You get that?
funny mark there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, they say history repeats itself, and now they're saying that. What else was it? Not that it repeats itself. I forget what they said, but something like that. I'm just talking about the stuff I see, guys. I mean, I had more twist to it. I'm not smart, but I think I'm a practical person. And if you throw out all the BS that goes with all this stuff and everything else like that, and just kind of look at it practically, it kind of shows up that that's it. I guess it also helps that you're paranoid and that you believe everything's a lie that you've ever been told. But yeah, I think we need to look sideways at everything that doesn't often rhymes. That's it. Doesn't repeat itself, but often rhymes. Exactly. That's the thing I heard the other day. We was talking about that.
Yeah.
And one of the other things, guys, is I've seen this repeated in a number. This idea, this in fact, this exact phrase in about 8 or 9 movies in the past 2 decades. I went ahead and checked and everything, researched and everything, found out that's been a repeated term that's been used over the last 2 decades. And you would never believe what they say. So when run a fire truck across the airport, you're right. Yeah, there's one repeating term that has been occurring in several movies. No, I won't say several, but a few movies over the past 2 decades. And that term is nobody is in charge. Nobody is in charge. Are they telling us something? Are they hinting at something? Or are they trying to tell us what to think, what to believe? My nose is a little runny, guys. I'm sorry. But I'm allergic to marijuana. Every time I smoke marijuana, I've always wondered about this, but my nose gets stopped up and runny. I cough and gag and everything else like that. And I come to find out that I'm allergic to marijuana. And tell me that God don't have a good sense of humor. Give me something I really like and make me fucking allergic to it. It's like love being a beekeeper and being allergic to bee sting. I like the idea of multiple wormholes and interference, intercepted, I should say, like radio signals. Like you said, there's always somebody listening on the other end, right? And if they're listening, that means it opens a pathway for them to talk back or communicate back. So you're right in that, Pete. And if one group can hear it, then another group can hear it. Then some dumbass in the 70s or 80s thought about sending a disc all about humans was smart. Sending a disc into space about humans and everything that we are and what we're vulnerable to. Send that to somebody else and tell them, come visit. Oh, I got funny side you, Anna. Come on. My screen, I got funny side you.
Well, see, you got that, and she didn't put a.
So I don't know. Civil War was another movie that had the phrase "nobody's in charge" in it. And Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up was another one. Leave the World Behind. There was Starship Troopers. There was a war movie. I can't remember which one it was. One of those newer war movies. But I can't remember them all, guys. But there were several movies that they said nobody's in charge. Apocalypse Now. That's another one, guys. Remember that one? Nobody's in charge. That's where it struck home at. When finally I realized that it's everywhere. Nobody is in charge. Recurring theme in media, movies. What do you think that is? Good night, people. I got that many fingers.
You have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs.
I'll hit you.
Technically, we have 16 fingers.
What the hell?
Phalanges.
Digits.
Phalanges.
We watched it the other day. I want to back up a minute, guys. I want to talk about this thing that we have on our computer. Now, you can use it on a phone or other stuff like that, but it's called Kodi, Kodi. And there's videos on YouTube about how to download it and how to and stuff like that. But I found out that we have a couple of extra laptops, so I downloaded Kodi to my laptop and hooked it into my TV. And guys, the movie plays are excellent on there. Any movie you want, you can watch it anytime on Kodi. It will download on your phone. It will download on the computer or an Android device, and several other devices like that, guys. And what? Click somewhere else.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Damn it. Anyway, guys, if y'all want to look up about Kodi, Kodi, on YouTube, and it's something that I really enjoyed because I used to have it on Fire Stick, and then I put it on the computer, and I just love it better than anything else like that. It's better than what you watch on network TV. It's uninterrupted, no commercials at all. You pick and choose what you want to watch, when you want to watch it, and how you want to watch it. 40-inch TV. Thank you, Paul. That's how we watch it, to be honest with you. We've got our TVs hooked up into it because, well, we're old and we can't see good. It's just easier for us. So
It's nice to
if
watch.
you have a Windows 10 computer or better or newer, look up about Kodi, and I urge you to download it on whatever device you have and use it to watch whatever you want to watch, anytime you want to watch. We've got all the movies in the world and everything like that. It is nice to watch on the big screen. It's a lot easier on your eyes.
Yeah.
And we're not big on quality picture, okay? So it's okay with us if it's not 4K, 8K, or whatever. 720p or 1080p or whatever they call it is just fine with us. Again, and in English.
Yeah.
What?
Movies.
Oh yeah, the movies are in English. If you
get them.
Yeah.
Some aren't.
I might do another video soon about how to install Kodi and how to use it a little bit on here. I've done some a while back. It's been a while. But if you're interested, let me know, guys. Your Fire Stick 17 years old. Anything you got on the Fire Stick, Paula, you can put on your computer. I'm serious. Pluto, Tubi, all that other stuff, Roku, any of that other stuff, you can put it on your computer and play it on your big screen, and it's so much easier. It's smooth and easy. No buffering, as they call it, and everything like that. Again,
Read that again.
What?
Sent me an email. Yeah. Okay. But it's ours is a 1080 and 17 years old. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
They used to let me know my battery was low on it too. I did not like that idea.
They know.
You went on to Linux. I don't know if Kodi will work with Linux or not. You have to check that. I'll find out and let you know. But I like Kodi. It's so much easier on a computer and everything. Like I say, we've even watched that new movie. What was it? The one? What was the guy who went to space by himself? Was that Baldwin boy in it? Or not Goshen?
Not the Martian.
No, not the Martian. Never mind.
Yeah. Hail Mary? Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, Project Hail Mary. That's it. We watched it before it even hit theaters here, guys. Same with anything else. Well, we're getting probably going to watch the new Mario movie that's come out just recently. Somewhere. I just don't like commercials. That's the reason I like the Kodi thing, is I can't stand commercials. Anna hears me rant and rave about the damn things all the time. Every time we try to watch a movie on something else, I holler at them. I scream at the news. She has to go cover her ears while I'm blasting blue language across the room.
I've learned to tune it out.
You spelled it wrong.
Kodi. Oh, C-O-D-Y?
K-O-D-I.
Okay.
But yeah, Kodi is good, guys. And I use I forgot what build I use on it, but it's worked great. I really enjoy it. I'm good now. All right. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everybody being here. It's been a great time. I appreciate all the interaction, guys. It's been the best in a while. I do appreciate it. I understand that, Paula. Anyway, my voice is running out, and I'm getting ready to go take a rest for a while. But thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I've really enjoyed it this time. Thanks to everybody's comments and everything. And I'm gonna try to start doing this on a regular basis if I can. I'm trying to work out a schedule. And my little sweetie here sneaking into the picture. Get over here. But anyway, start doing this over weekends. I don't know if Saturday or Sunday is a good time, but we'll figure that out as we go on. Leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, and share as always, guys. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all have a groovy day, and as always, do something nice for somebody, guys. That's the only way to be. Y'all have a groovy day. Later, taters.